How to perform CPR on a child. Performing CPR on a child in need pumps oxygen-rich blood into their heart and brain. This can prevent brain damage or death.
When you get to a scene and you find that you have an emergency situation, you want to follow the 3 steps that we teach you in the Red Cross. Check, call, care.
Step 1. Check.
The first thing you're going to check is the scene. When you check the scene, you want to make sure that it's safe for you. You want to make sure you do not become another victim. So check for safety. Then check for the number of victims. How many victims do you have? Clues as to what could have happened, and look around for other bystanders who can help you. Go to the victim and find out if they are unconscious. Best way to find out if a victim is conscious or not is if you talk to them. If they don't respond, if you tap and shout, and see if they respond to you.
Step 2. Call.
If they are unconscious or any other life-threatening condition, go to the next step, which is calling 911. Preferably, if you have somebody else, one of your bystanders, you can send them to call 911.
Step 3. Care.
Care for the conditions you find. This is where we're going to refer to the ABCs of care: the airway, breathing, and circulation.
Step 4. A for airway.
I'm going to open the airway. A, open the airway, tilt the head back, lifting the chin. I lean down, look, listen, and feel for breathing for not more than 10 seconds. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000.
Step 5. B for breathing.
There is no breathing. I go to my B step, which is the 2 rescue breaths. Put a face shield on there, some type of barrier between myself and the victim, again, avoiding contact with any body fluids of the victim. Pinch your nose shut, tilt the head back, lift the chin, and give 2 breaths. Those breaths are about one second long. Now the breaths went in. That tells me that there's no blockage. I am going to look over the body, see if there's any bleeding, and begin CPR.
If the breaths did not go in, the victim is choking and the airway is obstructed. Attempt to remove the obstruction and follow the steps for unconscious choking. Step 6. Check pulse.
Pulse check is no longer done for adults. However, for children, we always do pulse checks. For children, we're going to check the pulse in the neck, on the side of the neck.
Step 7. C for circulation.
We're going to see if they have a pulse and if they're breathing, and then we're going to act accordingly. If we find the victim has a pulse and they are breathing, we're going to place them on their side in something called the recovery position.
Step 8. Rescue breathing.
If there is a pulse, but they're not breathing, we're going to only breathe for the victim. They do not require compressions, only breaths. So we're going to do what's called rescue breathing. We're going to give 1 breath every 3 seconds. We're going to give 40 breaths in approximately 2 minutes. At the end of 2 minutes, we're going to stop to recheck the pulse and breathing again. And we're going to decide how to proceed.
Step 9. CPR.
If the victim had no pulse, no breathing, that's when we do CPR. CPR is a combination of compressions and breaths, and it serves to circulate oxygenated blood throughout the entire body to keep the brain and other vital organs alive until advanced medical personnel can arrive and take over. When we do CPR, we're going to do 30 compressions and 2 breaths. And we're going to do them 5 times every 2 minutes. For CPR for a child, we could do 2 hands, but if we're dealing with a very small child, we probably want to do a one-handed technique. The one-handed technique involves putting one hand on the center of the chest, the other hand on the forehead. Keep the airway open and put your shoulders directly over the victim's chest. Compress down 1 to 1.5 inches as you do your compressions.
Step 10. Stopping CPR.
Once we begin CPR, we never stop. We do not stop to recheck. We just continue without stopping until we notice signs of life in the victim. That means the victim is moving, coughing, breathing, moaning, anything that would indicate that the person is alive. Do not confuse vomiting with a sign of life. That is not a sign of life.
Step 11. Recovery. If the victim shows signs of life, log roll them onto their stomach so they do not choke, and wait for rescue personnel to arrive. Performing CPR quickly and correctly on a child could mean saving a young life. However, studies have shown that about half of bystanders who perform CPR do so incorrectly. It's a good idea to take a class and, periodically, review these steps.